been a while since I've made a video where I just speak on the mic to you for a little while and not really do much more. And it's been a crazy year for me, so I apologize for my huge inconsistency with my content. I have lots of plans for the summer in terms of videos to make, so I'm looking forward to filming stuff in the summer and hopefully some new role plays and some Japanese videos and hopefully some new Korean videos if I can learn enough. I'd like to do a Korean roleplay or a Japanese roleplay, but I don't know enough off my head to speak freely in a roleplay situation. So, if I had help in creating a script, I could probably do one then if I could learn my lines in that sense, because I can read both languages, but I cannot think off my head things to say. But today's video is a Q&A, because I've had some people ask me for a little while now to make a Q&A, and while I don't have a huge following, I think I have enough following that people might enjoy it, and it's a nice opportunity to speak into the mic and just focus on talking. I will try to make this video just one continuous thing. So unless I cough or sneeze, this probably will be one take. But yeah, so I posted on my community page a few days ago asking for some questions, and I think I've asked before a while ago, but then I didn't make the videos. But I have a few comments here, some questions, so I'm just going to answer these questions first, and then I'll answer a couple that I have on my Instagram, and then maybe if this video hasn't been very long, I will just give some fun facts, or I will just finish the video early. But yeah, so I'm gonna answer these in no particular order, as in I'm not gonna answer them in the first, like the first one that's been wrote, then the next one that's been wrote. I'm just gonna answer the ones that take my interest the most, and then go from there. So yeah. So the first question by Drake and Scar is, who got you into ASMR? For me, it was ephemeral rift. I think that's how you read that word, ephemeral, who I'm assuming is a ASMR artist, but I do not know who that is myself. So who got me into ASMR? Let me turn that off. So I guess I got got into ASMR because a friend recommended it to me, kind of. They said that I looked like somebody on YouTube who does ASMR. And I looked up this person and I thought the ASMR was pretty cool. And so I started looking at different channels, and I found myself looking at foreign ASMR because it made more tingles for me than English ASMR. And in particular, Korean ASMR was fundamentally what I liked the most. And then I found my favorite ASMR artist who basically got me interested in ASMR, and she made some videos in English, and I could see that it was a good way for her to practice speaking English whilst also living in her country, because it is quite difficult for foreigners to speak English in their native country, because it's not always needed. So they learn stuff, but they can't keep it, the knowledge. So she had this channel, and you could see that it was a nice outlet for her for English, and I thought that was really inspiring, because at the time I was learning Korean. So I was like, I will use YouTube to speak Korean and get feedback from people that are that language, or that speak in that language, and see whether my speech is good or not. So yeah, the person who I like the most, which I think some people have seen that I pick up things from her, which is kind of expected, I guess. If you listen to something so consistently, you pick up natural habits from that. But it is the one and only lovely, 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 lovely Latte ASMR. She is so sweet, and I would love to meet her in person one day, or to make an ASMR video with her. She's so lovely, and really, 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 really talented. She can speak so many different languages, and to me, as a person who studies linguistics and languages at university, I find it very admiring and amazing, and she's very tingly, and her videos very aesthetically pleasing. She does very pretty backgrounds, and I just love them so much. And she's finally getting more recognition, which makes me really happy. But the thing that I noticed is Korean people that do ASMR make amazing videos. Like, they go the extra mile to create these insane backgrounds, and they buy so many props for role plays, and it's kind of insane. But it's very appreciated because it makes the video so much better, and I love it. So yeah, that answers that question. So I'll answer this one or these two next because they're kind of related-ish. So Jake Pan said, can we have more Korean tutorials? Yes. Hopefully, yes. I want to make more, but I need to refresh my brain on the basics first, like self-introduction and go over counting and some grammar rules, because I've had a year out of Korean and a year of learning Japanese and my degree, so it's come very far away from me. So possibly in July, in August, maybe some videos in August, possibly. Leave comments in this video what type of Korean video you would like. I did a counting one before, but I can do a new counting one. I could do a new tutorial on writing in Korean, or I could do specific types of words, like a topic like food or clothes, something like that. So let me know. Right now, from the top of my head, I'm so bad at remembering things from the top of my head from languages. I can just about remember. So obviously, 안녕하세요. I don't really know what the word 여러분 means, but I just hear a lot of people that make Korean videos say 안녕하세요 여러분, but I don't know what that word means itself. I think it's something like hello there or hi friend, not friend because friend is 친구, but I don't know. I don't know. Let me know. 제 이름은 가스티입니다. 네. I have aged since I learned this sentence, so I do not remember. Not 살 anymore. No, that's current Japanese. 하나, 둘, 셋. No, that's not the right count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. 1, 2, 3. 저는 22살입니다. 하나, 둘, 20살입니다. No. 살. I can't remember how to form the sentence to say how old I am, because I'm 23 now. So it used to be. No, that's nijunisai. Nijunisai is how I say it in Japanese. So this is what I mean. Like, I have Japanese in my head now, and I can't remember how I even say it in Japanese. It's something like nijunisai desu. That's like how old you are in Japanese. 저는 no, that's Japanese. I can't remember how to say my age. 저는 영국. 저는 영국 사람입니다. 네. I don't know. As you can see, it's very broken. Not good. 물린다? 물 주세요. 물 주세요 means water please, I think. And 맞췄어요, I think is the word delicious, but I can't remember again. And then 사랑해요. 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 Yeah, anyway, let's move on from the fact that I cannot speak Korean anymore. It's really, really hard to remember stuff when you learn other languages over the top. But yes, you can. And what motivated me to learn Korean language? So, what motivated me to learn it is the concept of being able to read a language that is character based, because to me it's always fascinated me. I've always wanted to be able to, since a little girl, read characters, like Japanese characters for kanji. Oh, that's Chinese, but like hiragana and katakana and Hangul, stuff like that. And even, yeah, just mainly those really. Chinese scared me, so I was never like, wow, and like that. I was like, wow, that's scary. That looks so hard. But I always had a fascination for that, so when I started to learn the concept of being able to read stuff made me really motivated, because how cool is that to say to someone, yeah, I can read that, and they're like, what? You can read those symbols? Kind of crazy. So, yeah. And what motivated me to learn Korean to start with was a couple of reasons. Partly because I was just very not inspired, very interested in the language itself prior to learning it, because I watched a lot of K-drama and listened to a lot of K-pop, and I'd always just been really mesmerized by the language itself. I think the language is extremely pretty, and it looks very pretty, like the writing. So I was always like, oh man, I really want to be able to speak that. I really want to be able to read that. That's partly what put me to do it. Then also the fact that I want to teach English abroad, and I wanted to visit Korea, Japan, and I was like, it'd be so helpful if I could speak those languages to my students, because I could help them a lot better if I could speak in the same language as them when they don't understand what I'm saying in English. And then thirdly, I also wanted to be able to kind of communicate just with people that are Korean, because I thought it would be just a cool idea, to be able to communicate with people from other countries, and because I had more connections with Korean culture than, say, Spanish, I wanted to be able to communicate with Korean people more. So yeah, that's kind of my motivational foundings. So I hope that answers your question. So the next question, I'm gonna go with this other person who asked me. So Johnny Jack said, the Korean language has always fascinated me, and I know a lot of people who speak Korean. Any advice to someone who looking to learn? I only really know common Korean sayings. So, in general, I can't speak from my personal development on Korean because, as you can see, it's not so great right now. But in general, as a foreign language teacher, if you want to learn Korean language or any language at all, it's really important to be inspired and genuinely passionate. A lot of people say this, and people always overlook that concept. And I can tell you firsthand, inspiration, enthusiasm, and desire to communicate in that language is so important. I also had to study German for a whole year at university, and I had no interest in learning German language because I do not plan to go to Germany or teach in Germany or use German at all. So German language was very out of my world. And while I could learn the language, I could pick things up, there was no motivation to keep things in my mind. And because I wasn't interested in it, I wouldn't put enough hours into it. So it's important that you're invested in it. Say you are. How do you go about learning that language? Well, start off by making sure you can read it. So if you're reading a character-based language like Chinese or Korean, make sure you're familiar with all the sounds. Go over the phonetics of the language, because understanding pronunciation and word recognition is going to help you so much in the future when it comes to more complex concepts, because you will be able to know how they sound when you're practicing it, and when their sound changes, because all languages have parts of their syntax, their grammar, where the language will sound change for specific reasons in specific context, sometimes in phonetic circumstances when certain sounds cannot combine together. For example, like in English, we can't have the combination of KG, like kg. Like you won't hear the word the only word I can think of is a word, but it's not English. It's kugome, but that's a name in Japanese. But you can't have kugong or something like that. That just isn't a combination that we can do with our sounds. So stuff like that you would end up having if there was a way to. There's not, but if there was a way to use those two sounds, there would be a sound change. And that would be something that you would need to know, but you're not going to understand it if you cannot pronounce initially the sounds combinations, and also if you can't read the language very well, because the symbols that you're reading, if you know how to pronounce them and you can read them and identify them, you can work on these grammar concepts a lot easier. And yeah, the easiest thing to start learning is transactional stuff. So by transactional, I mean me, you. Direct conversation, not casual friend conversation, but like a shopkeeper in a restaurant, at a taxi, at a bus. anywhere where you have an exchange of information, because those sentences will teach you basic grammar, so how you form your sentence from start to finish. So how to where your placement of I goes, where the placement of the verb goes, where the placement of the object goes, and subject, and where your nouns are, etc. So basic transactional conversations will teach you roughly where those are, and they'll also help you be able to do basic communication for most things as a foreigner. So they're the most important things to learn first, because they're both practical, easy, and basic, and they're easier to use in day-to-day. If you want to practice, you're more likely to be able to go to a Japanese restaurant, for example, in your home country, and try to order in Japanese if you would like to. I mean, that takes some confidence to do, but it's easier to do that than to meet a Japanese person and try to talk about what you did last week with your brother, because there's a lot of components that are complex in that type of conversation. So yeah, I hope that helps. If you have any questions about learning languages and how to start learning a language, drop them in the comments, and I will try my best to give you guys good feedback, because yeah, I study. My degree is teaching English as a foreign language, and the same rule applies for learning other languages and how to teach any language and learn any language. And I'm also learning Japanese language at university, and I done German for a year, so yeah. I can help if anyone wants any. The next question is, do you watch anime? If you do, what are some of your favorite shows, and what was the first show you watched that got you into anime? So, the first show that I watched was actually, my feet. The first show I watched was actually Attack on Titan, I think, or Tokyo Ghoul, because I asked my friends what animes are good to start out watching when I wanted to, and those were the ones they recommended. I can't remember which one I watched first, but I liked them both. And I'm watching the new season of Attack on Titan now, and it's very good. It's getting interesting, and it's showing this good stuff in the manga now, so yes. And if you do, what are some of your favorite shows? So my favorite shows, I have a whole list of favorite shows. Teenagers All the Time, as most anime watchers would know. But my favorite shows right now are Made in Abyss, a beautiful, beautiful anime. Please, if you like anime, watch it. It is so amazing. It just does everything to you. Like, the soundtrack is beautiful, the characters are super sweet, pretty designs, the artwork's insane, the concept is amazing. The concept is so crazy, as in like so adventurous and it's just magical. It's everything that you could want in an anime. It's amazing. It's so good for people who like exploring and stuff like that. So please, 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 please watch Made in Abyss. You'll love it. You'll love it. If you don't love it, I would be very surprised. That's probably my favorite anime thus far. Also, Kakaguri. I can't remember if you pronounce the I at the end or not. I think you do, Kakaguri. which is a really great show about card games and a beautiful babe called Yumiko Chibami, who I cosplayed at Comic Con this year. And also, Inuyasha is one of my all-time favorites. I haven't finished it because there's many episodes, but it's very good. And Food Wars, love Food Wars. I found out that it's ending though. I'm so sad. I can't believe that they're ending it in the manga soon, so gutted. And Love War. Love War is insane. I love that. I'm such a sucker for romance, like high school romance animes. They get me. I love them. Fruits Basket. I'm loving Fruits Basket right now. What else? That's all like more recent stuff. I really like the manga for Death Note. I read that a few years ago and I absolutely loved the manga. Definitely recommend reading the manga, even though the anime doesn't have like amazing reviews and stuff. The manga is really cool. It's super deep and like complex, and it's just awesome, I think. And then I'm also loving Haikyuu. Very much into that right now. It's very cute. Yeah, it's just a few that I can think of off the top of my head right now that I'm loving. Oh yeah, I really like Miss Kobayashi Maid Dragon too, or Dragon Maid, I can never remember which way it goes. Dyslexia getting me again. But yeah, I love that show too. And